Om Namo Narayanaya. Please repeat after me. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhanaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishvotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Hari Om. Suswagatam. Today we are starting a new text, Sadachara. As Puja Gurudev puts very beautifully, he says, we are the product of our past. We are what we are. What we are, product of our past. And we are the producer of our future. So this is a very important and a very deep statement. To reflect over, one has to understand that whatever is a state of my body, mind and intellect is nothing because of anyone in the world, but it is because of me, myself. So this complete understanding as well as the enlightenment of our status is required to proceed ahead. Why? Because if we have a doubt or if we have some sort of question mark that my life, whatever today, is because of someone, then it's a wrong notion. It's a wrong notion. What we are today is because of our own past actions. So what will we do now will be our future, and therefore we are the producer of our future. So can we now think, what do I see myself in next 1 year or 2 years or 5 years? How do I see myself? So that we have to visualize for ourselves. What do I want? And therefore introspection is must. Because if I do not introspect honestly, I will not know what is going on and where I have to stop and where I have to speed up. It is all depends on our own right thinking. And therefore we thought, let us take up this text Sadachara, where Adi Shankracharya Bhagavan will lead us to a honest sadhana. Honest sadhana. So that is a point which we always keep it in mind. When we look at this title Sadachara, so from two angles we can view it. One, Sadachara is Sada Acharana. That means that which you have to follow continuously. One which is Sadachara is that which is good, that which is virtuous, that you have to follow. And from the very Paramarthik Satta, from the absolute standard, that one who is enlightened, his acharana is sada. Because he is established in Satya, and therefore his behavior, that which is the sadhana for the sadhaka. Got it? So this is the highest, that is Sadacharanam, Sadachara. Siddhasya Acharanam Sadhakasya Sadhanam. Means Siddha means who? One who is realized person. So his acharana, that's called as his conduct, becomes the sadhana for the seekers. So when Arjuna asked Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagawad Gita, 2nd chapter, about who is the Sthita Prajna, so Bhagavan did not point out this person is Sthita Prajna. Then he enumerated the characteristics of the Sthita Prajna. Who is this Sthita Prajna? Anyone can be Sthita Prajna, one who has these characteristics. So, knowing the characteristics of that enlightened person or that person who has realized the self, that becomes a sadhana. So slowly Adi Shankaracharya Ji Bhagavan will take us there, that how one should take up sadhana and how reach to the level of siddhata. Any text when we read, the first we have to see who is the composer of the or writer of the text or the author of the text. So this is again an Adi Shankaracharya Ji, whom we with reverence call as Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Also another name of Bhagavan is Bhashyakar Sri Adi Shankaracharya Ji. Then another is Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya Ji Bhagavan. So these are all different titles given to the Adi Shankaracharya Ji. So Adi is why? Because Shankaracharya Ji then became a title. So therefore to distinguish, then it is Adi Shankaracharya Ji. Like Shankara Matha, there are so many different matha. Matha means that called as ashram. So Shankar Matha, then one who is there is Shankaracharya. So to distinguish from all other mathadipatis, then it is said Adi Shankaracharya Bhagavan. So as we have last time also when we were studying Manisha Panchakam, briefly we could see the life sketch of Adi Shankaracharya Ji. And in book also it is beautifully put up, so we can go through whenever you have a time. How Shankaracharya Ji's life sketch is beautiful and very inspiring to everyone. Because at young age, if somebody can take a sannyas and the whole life he spends and he does so much of work for the benefit of the whole society, that itself, the thought itself is so inspiring. So, let us now get into the text, the first verse. Mangalacharana Shloka. Page number 4. Please repeat. Satchidananda Kandaya Jagad Ankura Hetave Sadoditaya Purnaya Namo Anantaya Vishnave. Together. So, salutations to Lord Vishnu. Namo Vishnave. Salutations to the Lord Vishnu. From which standpoint now we are looking at the Lord? Then it is said, Satchidananda Kandaya. That means this is a standpoint from which we look at the Lord. How? The nature of the Lord is of Sat Chit Ananda. So Swarupa Sthiti. Swarupa is what? Swarupa is the nature of the self, one's own self. Swarupa, the nature of the self. How is the nature of the self? Sat Chit Ananda. Then it is said, how is this Satchidananda, one who is now we understand as Bhagavan Vishnu. What did he do? Then it says, Jagad Ankura Hetave. So this Bhagavan Vishnu is the cause of the whole world. Where is he? Sada Uditaya. He is ever present. Where? Everywhere. Everywhere he is. Acha, he is present. But how is he? He is like us? No, we are incomplete beings. For the sake of our own mind status is always in the state of something that we want, and therefore it is always in incomplete state. But Bhagavan is Purna. So such Purna Bhagavan, that one who is incomplete, that which is complete. How is this Bhagavan? What is his measure to understand? Anantaya. So that one who is infinite. Such Bhagavan we bow down to. So two important points we can discuss here. First, here it is said Bhagavan as the cause of the world. So from the standpoint of Vedanta, if we look at the cause of the world, then how can we think about the cause? How can we think about the cause? A question to reflect. So the first point is, how is the Jagat? Oh, it is so big, so big, so big. So if the Jagat is so big, the cause of Jagat should be bigger than the Jagat or smaller than the Jagat? Yes, so this is the first point. So we can first imagine the Jagat means what? My God, the universe is beyond our comprehension. So if we start imagining about the Bhagavan, then we cannot imagine, because there is a limitation of our mind and intellect about imagination. So it is how it is beyond imagination. It is beyond imagination. Because if you think about even one planet which is called as Earth, how big is Earth? Oh my God, it is beyond imagination. How big is this Earth? And such are different planets in our one solar system. And these planets which form one solar system, and the scriptures are describing Bhagavan as Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak. My God. So this is one Brahmanda as one solar system, like that Ananta Koti. My God. Just imagine, like that n number of Brahmanda, that means n numbers of universe. And the controller of one and only one is Bhagavan. So that one has to understand that cause of this whole world is Bhagavan, and it is that without any limitation, it is infinite, infinite. When it is said infinite, then you just cannot imagine infinite. Why? Because our mind is finite and it only imagines that which has the different qualities. So Bhagavan is beyond all the qualities, because it is with quality and it is without quality also. So this is how one should able to understand how Bhagavan is a cause of this world. This is an imagination. Now from the Vedantic standpoint, it is said there are two important points we should able to understand. What it is? One is called as material cause and another is called as instrumental cause. So the material cause is that which we understand. Example, material cause in case of a mud pot is mud. An instrumental cause in case of the mud pot is the potter. So you just think now, this is an example. In this so-called as universal cause, is the universal cause, as in case of mud pot, the material cause is different and the instrumental cause is different. Is it possible? So if they are too different, then each one of it will limit other. This is a point. Like if these two things are there, then they will limit each other. Because what is there here, it is not here, and what is there here, it is not here. You got it? Point? And therefore they limit each other with their qualities. So therefore we should understand as a Vedantic student and with clarity that the material cause and the instrumental cause of this world is not different. It is one and one alone. And therefore it is said in the second verse of Manisha Panchakam, Brahmaivahamidam jagaccha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam etat chetcha etat avidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam. So Brahmaivahamidam jagaccha sakalam Chinmatra vistaritam. So all vistar, the extension, what we see is nothing but the reflection of the same Lord. Okay, so the more details will come when we go ahead in this text here only. Another point is Sat Chit Anand. So what is this Satchidananda? It's a Swarup of Atma. And therefore we must remember what is the definition of Atma. So it is said in Tattva Bodh, first it is what? So it is, there are three important bodies which we have. What is? Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. So Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Vyatirikta. That which is other than these three bodies. Point number one. Second is Panchakosha Atitaha. So all five koshas, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. So this is beyond that. What it is? When it is said, three states all we are going through. What are they? Then first is Jagrat Avastha, Swapna Avastha, then it is called as Sushupti Avastha. So, Avastha Traya Sakshi. Sakshi means witness. So, that which is witness to all the three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuptishu, Sputatara, Yasamvid Ujrumbate. So, that which is completely enlightening what? All the three states, that which is called as consciousness. So that consciousness, that Atma Tattva is a witness to all the three states. What exactly then it is? Satchidananda Swarupa San Yah Tishtati Sa Atma. So Satchit Ananda is a Swarupa of Atma. So we all have two different identities. What are they? One is lower identity, another is higher identity. What is a lower identity? Anyone? Verse number from chapter number 7, Bhagavad Gita. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu Khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtadha. So 5 elements with body, with mind, intellect and ahankar. This is called as my lower prakriti. Lower prakriti means it is called as my lower identity. Then what is that which is the higher identity? So that is called as Jiva Atma. That is a higher identity. But how do we ourselves understand? We understand ourselves as this gross form. What is that? As a body. Why? Because there is so much of identification. Body, mind and intellect. So much of identification. So this identification is because of ignorance. A strong identification is because of ignorance. Then with the identification, what happens? Then this notion gets developed with this identification that I have to be happy because today I am not happy. So let me put an effort to be happy. Today I am incomplete. This incompleteness feeling is because of the ignorance. So then the mind says, let me search. Then it starts going towards the object. It says, see, this object is giving me happiness. Then it gets attached to that object which gives happiness. And that which gives sorrow or difficulty, it says, no, I don't want this. It goes away from it. And that's how this circle gets formed of running towards something and running from something. Pardon me? Acha, okay. So, with our strong identification, what happens? Then we consider ourselves to be the body, mind and intellect. Okay. So when we consider about ourselves, about our body, mind and intellect, then body has a requirement. Then mind says, if I have to fulfill the body's requirement, I want this. Then it goes to the different objects, and then when it goes to the objects and then gets that object for the comfort of the body, then it experiences something that, my God, today I am happy because I got this. So, not knowing what is happiness, it gets attached to the finite experience of the object. And therefore it wants to repeat it again and again. And that's how it gets caught up in this web of attachment. So, having reached this state, then someday, somehow, because of our own past right actions, we come to know something called as the path of spiritual life. How it happens? If you have to describe, there is no such sort of description or so-called as explanation which can be given. So, only one point we can understand, let it put it as grace of the God, and then there is no discussion remain at all. So with grace of the God, someday, somehow we get connected to this spiritual path, and there is someone who is always helping us to understand this path. So this happens because, as scriptures say, is because of our own past actions. So our own past good action can bring us to again to the spiritual path. But there is called as self-effort. If somebody is put up in the school or college, now he has received such a beautiful platform. Having received this platform, if he has to grow, then that person has to study and put right effort. Because right effort, nobody can put up for all of us. People can guide us how to put up the right efforts. And what are called as right efforts? But nobody can live with right efforts for us. That's not possible. And therefore, Bhagavan Adi Shankracharya ji, with his great compassion, is now giving us what are the right efforts one can put in this path of spiritual life, having come to the spiritual path. So this is how we are going to study. And why we are studying? Because right efforts are only possible if we know why and how. Om Namo Narayanaya.